Um, Morning, Mike. First thing, obviously the game rescheduled to Sunday. How difficult is that to sort? And is it because Forest Green are close or what?
No, it's basically because we're running out of weeks to reorganise them. I think the only spare week we've got now is the international break. There's no guarantee we're going to have the international call-ups, but we couldn't take that risk. So the game would be off if it was Saturday because of the rugby game on the Friday and the weather forecast. And it gives everybody a little bit more time to get it playable, and also without having to play Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. So it's the best thing all round, if I'm honest, for us and Forest Green.
I know the EFL have sort of encouraged flexibility whenever possible. Is it possible you will have to do this again, Mike, or is there no scope for that now?
Rob, I hope not. I don't think there's any more rugby before we play now to the end of the season, which is a good thing. But you don't know with the weather, do you? You know, for the sake of 24 hours, or even maybe if you bring it forward, maybe play on a Friday night. I don't know, but if those kind of problems occur, then at least that we're trying to plan accordingly.
Yeah, because there are times where games are called off, maybe because of snow or whatever, and then the next day it's perfectly possible. So maybe flexibility is going to be the key in sort of difficult situations like this.
Yeah, and listen, and it's all good getting the games on. We've got to think of the welfare of the players as well, because if they're playing Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, I guarantee you there's going to be a spike in injuries throughout whatever clubs are doing that. So yeah, clubs, teams have got to be flexible. It's an unprecedented life at the moment, and everybody is making changes and adapting to forever changing circumstances.
And do you think you're just getting, at the moment, you've just got enough time to fit everything in without your players suffering, like you've just said?
I hope none of them suffer, Robert. Any players throughout the country, it's not just the physical injury. If players are going to be picking up injuries now, it's going to be a lot tougher than normal, and it affects their mental state of mind as well. So it's a big black hole, and you don't want anybody getting sick off the back of playing too much. And I'm saying sick because I mean mentally as well. Yeah,
it's a balancing act, isn't it? It is, for you as much as anyone, really.
It is. It's it's what I'm paid to do. It's what every other manager's paid to do. But you've got to be much more of a man, much more than just a manager these days. It's everything. Part groundsman, part weather forecaster, psychologist, mentor, coach, father, whichever way you want to explain it. There's so much more to do these days, and I'm relishing it, because if you can add all these, these other skill sets to your own box of tools, then you're only going to become a better coach, but not only that, a better person.
Have you had to leave a player out because mentally they're not right this season because of the situation? I wouldn't expect you to name names, but have there been times where you've thought, no, I'm not sure this player is coping too well, and you've had to leave a player out because of that?
Possibly.
I'll take that as a yes.
No, I would say that would be some of the reason.
Right. So it's a factor. That's what you're saying. Yeah, that's the way to describe it.
It has been, once or twice.
Wow, I think that'll shock a lot of people, Mike, because they expect footballers to be sort of, I don't know, this different world where thing goes on normally, you're playing the game you love, etc., etc.?
I'll take it as a compliment because the players felt comfortable in telling me this. And all I can do is be there to support them.
Big game, obviously, because of where they are and your form. Do you feel just one win will spark you again, or have you talking about mental stuff? Have you stayed awake at night worrying about just what's gone wrong in the last 12 games or so, 11, 12 games?
There's a whole lot of things have gone wrong, Rob. We're not in a good run of form. That aside, we should have won the last two. We haven't. And that's where we're at the moment. Pleasing thing is we're not getting any more red cards at the moment. So that's good. But we have got to be switched on for the full 90 minutes, not just for 89 of it or 80 of it, whatever that may be. If we score first on Tuesday night, we win the game. We score first against Southend, we win the game. It's as simple as that. And unfortunately, we didn't in either of them.
And you've got Liam Shepherd back. Is that a help to you?
Massive help. Been a big miss. He's been brilliant for us this season. So, I'm very pleased to have him back. And like I said, this is where the red cards don't always hurt you. In the game they get sent off in is the aftermath. The 3 games they miss. That's when it really sets in.
Because he brings you not just width and but he brings you creativity down the one side, doesn't he? Yeah? And quality into the box more often than not.
And he's experienced League Two player, experienced footballer now. He knows the game. Still don't make him immune from mistakes. But yeah, he's a very positive addition to what we can select on Sunday.
You were chuffed you got him, Mike. I remember you saying you locked him in your car, took him to the office to get him signed. Have you had talks with him yet about next season or what? Because it was just a year, wasn't it?
Look, I'll be honest, planned for talks with a few players. It's a balancing act again, where you don't want to upset the apple cart. Some of the players you don't talk to might be thinking that they're not wanted for next season. So, it's just got to be done in stages. We've got to do it in stages of, players that we want to try and nail down ASAP. What we can afford, that comes into it, obviously. And obviously where we're going to be. It's not as straightforward as we think. But yeah, we're in a planning stage, and hopefully and get a few results and start looking at other things as well.
Yeah. Last one. Obviously, Jamil Matt back in town.
Yeah.
A warm welcome for him.
Listen, he's a great lad, Jammer. He's having a good season. He's in double figures, I think now, goals. So we know all about Jamil. He's like I said, he's a really, really good person. Somebody I've got a lot of time for off the pitch as well. And hopefully he has an absolute stinker on Sunday and we get the 3 points.
I'll settle for that, mate. Cheers.
Cheers, Rob.
Hi, Mike. With Jamil, if I remember rightly, Brandon Cooper did a really good job on him in the new lawn, even though he did score, but he did a really good job, didn't he? So I suppose that blueprint is what you're looking to repeat against him.
What have you got to mention Brandon's name for, Chris? Huh?
That's it. I won't mention the other one.
Get back into my heart.
Yeah.
Look, it's Brandon. Brandon was exceptional for us. Somebody else has got to step up now and do a job. But whoever we pick on the weekend, they need to stand up, be counted, and do the job, because look, we win Sunday. It's very interesting then.
You mentioned, I guess it's the win against Grimsby. We hope to sort of start it back up again. But equally, a win against a team as good as Forest Green really would, just for confidence, the whole tone of the squad would be huge, wouldn't it?
It would, Chris. And look, these are facts; they're not excuses. We all start looking at different things because of the pitch. Exeter. I think you weren't there at the game, was you? Exeter's press afterwards. Matty and their captain both said that half-time they were told not to go out to their half, make them go around us because it's so difficult to create chances out wide because of the state of the pitch. At times, was our quality good enough? No, it wasn't. And that wasn't just down to the pitch. At times, it wasn't up to what we needed. But the one bit of quality we did do, we score from. Nicky Maynard, he's an honest lad, held his hands up, should have scored, as he did on Saturday as well. So it's, if we wasn't creating, chances, then that would be even more worrying. But again, it's really hard to create clear-cut chances on that pitch. And I said that after the Grimsby game. So like I said, it's not excuses, it is just facts.
Is that still something you as a squad, they're coming to terms to? I know you're never going to create a lot on it, but the method of how you create, it does take a bit of time to work out your style, I guess. And especially with the amount of new boys that are coming in and they're 1 or 2 games into playing on it. Well,
whatever the style is, the fundamentals of the game don't change. You've got to, keep your passing good, keep all the possession. You've got to win your second balls. You've got to track your runners. You've got to try and beat the first man on a corner, for example. You've got to score when you're in the 6-yard box. Those fundamentals, you do them, you've got to stay on your feet and not get red carded. All these fundamentals don't change. Whether we're playing a beautiful, Pep Guardiola football, or we're playing Wimbledon style from the 80s where it goes from back to front. You have still got to have those same fundamentals in football. We've played some outstanding football this season. But to enable us to do that, all our fundamentals were right. We defended with our lives. We were spot on with our passing. Our crossing was good. Our movement was good. Yes, our finishing wasn't outstanding, but we were winning games. So look, those fundamentals are key in any league.
Is confidence still? Our confidence in the squad? Are they still a good bunch as been all season, or is it a bit of a...
Of course. Listen, we're 5th in the table. If we were 18th, then you can maybe start saying is the confidence gone? They're 5th in the table. They win Saturday. They're 1 point beyond second, or 2 points behind top with 2 games in hand, whatever it is. We don't know how it's going to work out. Actually, we will know because they all play on Saturday. So, but it means nothing if we don't win. We want to go on a run. We want to win some football matches. And I think you'll see there's only 2 or 3 at the moment who are doing that, winning more than 2 in a row. So it's tough for everybody. Like I said, it's unprecedented, the season. But nobody got more belief in this group than me.
On Liam, have you had to think about his role? Because obviously the start of the season with the wing backs, both him and Ryan could just bomb on as you like, but it's a bit tougher, isn't it, on the surface?
It's much tougher. And obviously, when you lose a key player in Brandon Cooper, who not only links the play from the goalkeeper with Matty Dolan, what he does, he comes out with the ball, he allows the wing back to go further on. He goes into midfield because he's so comfortable on the ball. He's such a big miss, Brandon. And him and Scott Twine were key cogs in the way we link the play. Would they be as effective now on that pitch? Probably not. But they would still have the right movements and the right ideas to enable us to do that. So yeah, that's his role would and has changed because of that one change, and so has Matty's, and so has Mickey's. And if you see, Ryan Haynes ain't able to get us forward as much either. So it's a big knock on, if I'm honest.
It's one of those, because he is versatile, isn't he, Liam? So he could even play right midfield or whatever if you wanted him to be in those areas.
Oh, listen, he's he can play a number of positions, but hopefully we put him in the right position and he's back to his best.
Squad wise, how are you looking? Are you any injuries or any knocks or?
No, not that I know of.
No. Kevin Ellison, is he getting close to?
He's fit. You'll be up for selection Sunday.
He's more because of his personality. He is, and his experience. He is useful, isn't he? Around the group. Maybe even he will have seen it when things are tough.
Of course, he's probably seen it all in his 41 years young. So yeah, he's brilliant. He's on and off the pitch, and you never know, he might be involved.
Finally, for me, Rob was touching on earlier, because of the odd season, when things are tough like this, what you're not been able to do what you might have done, say, last season. Say, right, boys, we're going to the races, we're going to the pub. Is a couple £100 maybe behind the bar or whatever. How hard is it that all they know with each other is training and match day?
It's the same as everybody else, Chris. That's the one common factor, that it is the same for everybody else. Different. It's different. It's different for me. It's different for you. It's different for rugby. It's different for everybody in life, and you've got to adapt. And those who adapt the best shine through, if I'm honest.
All good. Cheers. I'm out of isolation, so I'll see you on Sunday.
Cheers, Chris. Can't wait.
As one of the faithful who were there midweek, Mike, I just wish I'd been outside the dressing room listening, as some of the photographers were, to your eulogy of your team. It was a little bit noisy. It was a little bit filled with choice words. I mean, what did you actually say to them?
That stays in the change room, Rob.
He didn't, though. Not all of it, should we say? But it was not. It was a bigger blast than usual.
Listen, like I said, the days of screaming and shouting consistently have long gone. Players switch off.
Yeah.
Society switch off. It's a whole different breed of human we're dealing with now.
Yeah.
But if I feel the need that I need to do it, I will.
Yeah.
I've probably done it twice this season, albeit I've had no reason to. I've probably done it twice, and they took it well. We spoke after it, took it well, and they understand how much I care and want to win, and hopefully, it rubs off.
It must have been a frustrating night, though.
It was frustrating because everybody expects you to beat 9. I was more, I'll tell you the truth, I was more frustrated with us conceding a goal when they had 10 men. That was the biggest frustration. Obviously a couple of the decisions second half were just, they were winding me up, let's just say. But the effort of those players on Tuesday night was unbelievable. They kept going and going and going. And other clubs would have probably given up at that point. They would have given up when they got to the 85th minute and thought, and stopped doing the things that they kept trying to do that was going to get us a goal. So, yes, I was frustrated. Yes, I expected us to win, especially when they go down to 9. But like I said, the biggest frustration for me was that goal. A goal we conceded was just amateurish.
Yeah. Part of your new back four at the moment, Priestley, you've given him a couple of starts. I just wondered how you felt he's made the step up from sort of semi-pro to fully. Well, he was a pro at Consley, wasn't he? But I mean, how's he made the grade? And are there more diamonds down below who could step up?
I think he's been excellent. He's played out of position a couple of times for us. I think he's been outstanding. He's only going to get better. He's still not fully match fit, and he's coming through really well. Is there any more diamonds below us? I hope there is, because I want to find them. Yeah,
and you've been tracking him for a while, had you?
Yeah, been tracking him for a while. Yeah. Spoke to a few people on him as well. So, and obviously I've got a good relationship with Andy Morrison, and that always helps because he's not a man you want to cross.
No. If he says it's Tuesday, it's Tuesday. But I mean, to give him 2 starts now, I think is it 2 starts? Shows a bit of faith in him.
I've got faith in him. Just got to keep doing what he's doing, keep working hard, keep trying to improve. And it's down to him to keep his place.
Yeah. Wayne talked about the evolution of your style. You've had to change once, then you've had to change twice. And is there any confusion amongst the players, or the messages, as you got through in the end with that, keeping the ball going in the middle and getting the goal? But it must be frustrating for them not being able to do what came so naturally to them.
There's no confusion because any instructions we give them, we make sure they're clear. So there's no confusion. Whether there's a part of them that at times think they got more time than they have, of course, that's down to the individual who's on the ball. But look, we played some good stuff, albeit against 9. We kept the ball moving. Over 30 shots, which is what you expect for a team that don't come out of their half near enough, second half. But we just need that little bit more quality in the final third. And I don't just mean the strikers, again, obviously.
Yeah.
Which I've been saying near enough all season, when we was winning and when we were losing, because we will, if it clicks, we will murder somebody. We'll put 5 and 6 past the team. Until that happens, then no, it's going to be close encounters.
Yeah, and all the new boys, are you happy with the way they fitted in?
Yeah, listen, it's improvement. Look, January is a real tough window because you lose players who are fully fit, up to speed, and 9 times out of 10 at this level, you're getting players in who probably need a few weeks to get going. It's just how it is, unless you're buying somebody. And even that time, where we've paid a small fee for Priestley, he hadn't played for 6 weeks because the season had been cancelled. So, there's a lot of different factors. January, and it's a tough window, and so this one was the toughest one for me.
Yeah, and then you're not used to playing this number of games in a February, are you? I mean, it's just relentless.
Yeah. What can you do? It's it's the same for everyone. We've got to keep going, and keep digging in and looking after each other and working together, and I'm sure we'll be fine.